Hello again, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the GPWS.
Talk tick, talk tick, talk tick.
Well, now it's almost 12 o'clock and I'm here in a stew. Should I stay or go back home? I don't know what to do. One thing that I know for sure, that girl and I are through. Still hearing tick-tock, tick, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick, tick-tock, tick.
Talk tick, talk tick, talk tick.
Tick-tock, tick.
As you know, viewers, we're back at it with the 1953 Westclox Sphinx service. So let's get into it. So where are we going to start? Well, I think the only place to start is to start filing the newer gear down and get it to the same size as the original. And what I'm also going to do is leave the original, that little whatchamacallit there on the bottom of this gear, that friction. I'm pretty sure that has something to do with actually fitting the gear on, so I'm just going to leave that alone and just file it off the top. So we're going to get these gears hopefully to the same size. Or what'll probably end up happening is this one will be slightly larger anyway. I don't think much has to be filed. I mean, these are basically the same gear, so yeah, I'll just file a little bit off and see where we're at. So really all that we need to do here is just take the file, take the face of the gear, and just rub it up against the file. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Oh. You know what, I'm going to get a pair of pliers here to do this. Oh, maybe that's not great. Oh, wait, yep. Oh, that'll work. Less is more in this sort of thing. We've also just discovered that this is made of brass. We've just completely filed off everything, and now we're back to bare brass. Really, this is a process of sort of guesstimating how much we need to file off, and the gear just went flying across the room. Nice. New plan, I'm going to use a different pair of pliers. Yes, this is as crude as it looks. I mean, this is exactly what you think it is, viewers. I'm literally just rubbing it up against the file and just doing that. Okay, now I've got the gear on the end of the rotor, and while you're doing this, make sure to file evenly, because I didn't quite do that. So, yeah, over here I didn't quite do it as even as I'd like, so just try and keep it as even as you can as you're doing this. Okay, well, they're just about there, I'd say. These two are basically even, more or less. And even... Oh, that's kind of lulling to the side a bit because I didn't file it quite even. Well, when it's going to be on the rotor, it doesn't matter. And also, a little bit of... Like, this one is still ever so slightly taller than the original. That shouldn't matter because the rotor is going to be kind of sliding back and forth in the stator ever so slightly anyway. There's going to be a little bit of play there, so I think we'll be alright. Now, worst case scenario, I have to take the whole thing apart and file it a little bit more, which I don't think I will. So now that the gear is ready to go, and I did clean it off in some acetone quickly just to get all the metal shards out of it, one last thing I'm going to do is just oil the inside of the stator one more time before I put it together, because it probably won't come apart again for a very long time. And that's another thing I've learned with these electric clocks. You're probably going to damage something inside them more often than not. But that's just how it goes. That's just what happens when you service these types of clocks. especially ones that aren't really made for servicing. Now this one couldn't have lasted in the state it was in because it was basically falling apart. It was missing most, if not all, the screws, and you can clearly see that there is a shine going on with that because it's not filed evenly. Oh well, the front of the face of the gear isn't the part that's going to be used here. It's going to be obviously the teeth. All right, viewers. Well, now that we got the rotor together and the incorrectly filed gear here, and I don't know how much of a difference that'll make. Probably not much, if anything at all. Anyway, we'll see where this gets us in the state that it's in. And, yeah, we'll put the movement back together in the next part, and then we'll get this in, or get this whole bell assembly in. And, we should be good to go after that, and then we can solder a new power cord on and everything. Well, viewers, if you got anything to correct me on in the comments, do. And, yeah, we'll leave it all there for now, viewers. I'll see you in the next part.